Hey everyone, it's Ivan, KBadger.com, here today, bringing you another gun review, and today, talking this guy right here, which is the Sig P320 X Compact. Before we dive into specifics on this X Compact, let's look at some kind of general overview of the P320 series. One of the unique things is it actually uses a serialized trigger package. So you can actually take the trigger out of any of your P320s, swap the grip module, put a different larger one, smaller one, different ones for size hands, as well as actual kind of like frame size, make it a larger pistol to include the slide and barrel, all those things, and it's one pistol, like one serialized pistol, which is pretty cool. So this one right here being the X Compact, where does it differ from other ones in their line? When we start looking at different pistols in the line, start looking at kind of different barrel sizes as well as the actual size of the grip module, which is kind of, think the frame, the lower polymer portion. And so you have the X Compact, which is what this is, and then you also have the X Carry. And the X Carry, same barrel length, everything like that, except the grip is a little bit longer. Basically, it's more along the lines of a grip from the regular P320 series. So with that, it being a little bit longer, rather than having a 15-round magazine, you can end up using their standard 17 or, in this case, 21-round magazine. That being said, if you have the X5 Compact, you can, of course, use any of the other magazines, but it is not backwards compatible, i.e. you can't use X5 Compact magazines with your full-size P320s. As far as stats go on the pistol, the overall length is 7 inches, overall width 1.3 inches, height being 5.3 inches. Barrel length is 3.6 inches, and the weight empty is 25.3 ounces. Sight radius being approximately 5.5 inches. This pistol uses the X-Ray 3 front sight with tritium insert, as well as the night sight rear plate. Has tritium inserts, and the actual plate can be removed and replaced with a optic. The pistol has both rear as well as front cocking serrations. All of that said, what has been my experience with this pistol? Well, the first significant amount of time I had with it was actually at the Battle of the Bills in 2019. Amazing event put on by Surefire with Bill Blowers as well as Bill Rapier. Two incredible instructors. 3 days of training that culminated in basically some force on force with UTMs and sims. Awesome time out there. During that, I ended up shooting this and did great for me. Since that event, I carried it for a number of months in this black point holster. Both these did a good job for me. Definitely concealed pretty well with this, and yeah, a capable pistol. Also went out to the range, spent a bunch of time shooting different range trips. Overall, the thing continued to do a good job for me. Here it is, going through a couple different loads. Right here I'm at 7 yards, KBAT target. I have some 124 grain NATO spec plus P by Minuteman Munitions. Right here I have the Sig 124 grain training ammo. Here's some Sig 124 grain V-Crown jacketed hollow points. shanked that first round. Here's some 124 grain full stop solid copper hollow points by G9 bullets. Here's some ASIM Precision loaded with 115 grain Barnes TAC XP plus P. What are my thoughts on that shooting? Well, this thing will do its part if you do your part. That was absolutely not indicative of the pistol or the ammo. That was just indicative of me that day with this pistol and that ammo. This will absolutely outshoot me. And at distance, like 50 yards, you can definitely get your hits. You gotta do your part, definitely do. Here we are at the 50. That reduced BC is looking super small. Oh, that's what I got. I will say these being carry sights and having the tritium inserts, they're great for what they are, i.e. they're tritium and up close, quick target acquisition, all that stuff, sight picture, sight alignment, make it pretty easy. At distance, because of, I don't know, kind of how fat the front sight is, I personally would rather have something thinner, but it's kind of what you get usually when you have tritium sights, because the tritium vial is so big, so you can only make that front sight so wide, or so narrow, I guess. But overall, it's done a great job for me. One of the things I do like about the X series is the flat face trigger. Depending, you can get feedback from it, i.e. if when you're pulling it, you feel this edge digging into your finger, means you are not pressing straight back. So these edges can help with that, and I do like the fact that as you pull back, it actually breaks at that 90. Reset. Not a bad trigger, especially for a striker-fired pistol. As I mentioned earlier, one of the cooler things, honestly, about these pistols, to include the X Compact, is the fact you can actually swap out the trigger module. So I have, in the past, pulled the trigger module out of this, thrown it into a larger grip module, as well as actual slide, and went and shot it, which is really cool. It opens the door for being able to have a pistol that you use for carry, as well as maybe competition or something like that. And you have one consistent trigger pull across basically those two different kind of areas. Competition as well as concealed carry. I think that's pretty cool. And grip modules, relatively inexpensive, so if you want to dip into trying to stipple or something like that, honestly, I think around like 40 bucks, something like that. If you mess it up, you can toss it, get a new one. It's not like a Glock where if you mess up stippling your frame, like that was your pistol. Like, time to go buy a new pistol. So that is cool. Also, something that can be kind of nice, when you go to take this thing down, this lever right here, basically move it all the way like that, and then your slide comes off. So you don't have to actually fire this thing, or pull the trigger rather, because some people do end up firing their Glocks. I don't know why, but it happens. People shoot their hands, workbench, whatever. You don't have to do that for this. Is there anything on this I don't care for? For me personally, and honestly, it's probably an easy fix. I haven't done it because I've kept it in stock configuration, but the way I shoot, thumbs forward like that, I end up putting pressure on the slide stop, slide release, so it does not lock back for me. Is it an easy fix? Yeah, it's probably some needle nose pliers bending that piece in so it's not sticking out as much. Have I done it? No. Again, keeping this thing stock with respect to creating a review. Depending obviously on your hands, hand placement, that may or may not be an issue for you. One more thing worth noting, the rail on here, 1913 mil standard, which I like. It is nothing proprietary. It is too short for Surefire X300, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because this is also a small compact pistol. What do I think overall on this X Compact? I think it's a solid pistol. I do really like, one, the trigger that you get with the X series, this flat face trigger, and also getting those night sights to include this actual top plate that you can remove, put an optic on here if you want. I think that's pretty cool. And on top of that, the fact that you can get into a pistol that will allow you to basically use it for a number of different roles. So back to that trigger package, putting a different grip module on here to include different slide. Now you have a competition pistol. And with respect to grip modules too, dimensionally, I believe this is the medium. They have a large and then they also have a small. So depending on your hand size, you can find whatever fits you best. Price-wise, usually between $650, but again, getting this and then being able to use it in other applications like competition with other grip modules, other slides, I think there's a fair amount of value there. If you have experience with one, let me know how it's been for you. And as always, thanks for joining us at kitbadger.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.